Scorpio, welcome to your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot, as well as your astrology predictions for the week. This week is really something, man. It is. I can't say that it's bad because I don't think it's bad. It's just not going to be easy. It is a challenging one. It is a son of a bitch. That's kind of what it is. I will get into the astrology. I will sprinkle it throughout the entire reading. Remember, this is for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising signs. So take it where it resonates, guys. This is your reading. Whatever the energies I describe, just use them as they apply to your life. And if you're finding that the whole reading doesn't resonate, then check out your rising sign video. Check out your moon sign video. I do 12 zodiac signs every single week, so I'm sure there's a message here for you. But I'm going to focus here on Scorpionic energy, which is basically following what is Pluto doing and what is Mars doing, because those are those are your prominent influencers right now, and of course what is happening in Scorpio now. There's not a lot happening in Scorpio right now. You want to know why? Because everything is happening in Capricorn right now. We're getting a stellium, or a cluster of energy that's filtering into and piling up in Capricorn. Now Pluto is in Capricorn, and that's why it's very significant. Most of the planets are in the beginning of Capricorn, and Pluto is very much toward the end. It will go into Aquarius next year. So ultimately, I think that is it next year or the year after? I'll fucking check the charts. Guys, it's going into Aquarius soon. But what we do have is a bunch of other planets piling into where your ruling dignitary has been for quite some time. So it's almost like all the neighborhood kids are coming in, you know, and you kind of like set up shop there, right? Pluto stays there for a long time. But now we have everybody else coming in, and oh my God, isn't this like, it's like, I gotta tell you, if you don't sit back this week and have at least one moment of, what the fuck took you so long? Like, for real? I mean, welcome to the party, 5 years late. Like, you know, it's almost like if you don't have at least one of those moments this week, I would be shocked. But the primary, real, I think, emotional challenge for you this week is that there's a quincunx to Mars. There's a quincunx between Pluto and Mars all week. And they're both your ruling dignitaries. Mars, of course, is your traditional ruling dignitary. And the fact that there is a challenge between them means there's a challenge inside of you, which is what holds more authority, what holds more sway, what I seek to conquer, or what I know is worth it, what I know is valuable. There's going to be a lot of shifts in our value systems sort of globally now. For you, it is personal, which holds more authority over me. And are you having conflicts? Now, it's not necessarily conflicts with authority. It's people having conflicts with your authority. As in, bitch, I've been here for years. How you gonna come and try to tell me about what I have been knowing about and living for the past however long? It's those kind of things. It's like, oh, what page did you read that off of? Because I wrote the page. You know what I'm saying? It's like meeting people who think they know so much because they saw a meme about it, right? Or they had this surface level understanding of it. And it's not bad. And this is the thing. This is where you're really going to have to control yourself. And I'm serious. Yeah, I'm going to be straight with you. You're going to really have to control yourself and hold back and not rip into them and tell them what fools they are. Because the truth is, it's encouraging that they're beginning to care. You know, it's like, you have enough objectivity to see that, well, at least they're interested. At least we're having this conversation now. And you do want to grow it and encourage it, but at the same time, this is all happening in Capricorn, so there's kind of this crunch of, as soon as they arrive, they think they're authorities. And that's not going to sit well with you. But the only way that you'll really be able to quell this kind of arrogance or at least overconfidence is just by being genuine. And by being, remember, when you have intrinsic value and you really do know more than somebody else or are more better prepared than somebody else, it doesn't matter what flourish they come into the room with. That shit will fade in minutes. And so all you have to do is really hold back and be true to yourself, because the quality, especially with all this energy happening in Capricorn, will definitely demonstrate itself. So you let them make fools of themselves, and then you let them learn from it. I think the biggest challenge in your heart of hearts, Scorpio, this week is for you to overcompensate for other people's overconfidence. You know, is for you to just like, how can I help you out and how can I help you not crash from your overconfidence? Well, you don't. I mean, if somebody's life is at risk, of course you help. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about just the arrogance, confidence conflict, right? Like, you let them learn. You let them learn. And you let them learn gently, simply by, you don't yell. You don't scream. You be the soft voice in the room that when they're finally done with all their ruckus, they're like, oh, well, now that my ass is flat on the floor, I better listen. But you know what? This voice has been here the whole time. Let me actually listen. And that's it. So it's going to be a challenge. Challenge your patience. Challenge your wanting to just make a fool of these motherfuckers right off the bat. And also challenge your wanting to help them and save them and rescue them from their own idiocy. So patience and faith, patience and faith. I've been saying this the whole time. Time to let go of the things that have been eating on your heart. Now, I think this week, according to the astrology, the biggest thing will be about having to sit back, and I will post this to my website soon. I posted this meme. No. By the time you see this, I will have posted it. This is the quantum world that I live in. One of the biggest challenges sometimes can be to sit back and let people experience their own karma. And you may not want to do that because you have a hero complex, right? As hard-ass as you can be when somebody pisses you off, lots of times because you feel pain so acutely, you don't want that to happen to other people. You want to make their life real easy. But by making their life real easy, you're making them really weak. And you're not giving them the chance to see how strong they can be. Because it is our challenges. It is the suffering that we've gone through. Now remember, just because you're allowing somebody to grow from the consequences of their own behavior doesn't mean you've caused the suffering. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And that's going to be difficult, especially with paternal situations or with parental situations. So if you are a parent or if you have parents, this would be the week. Well, I mean, if you are younger so that your parents still really hold sway over you in your life, this would be the week that they're like, next month you're going to start to pay your own rent. We're not doing it for you anymore. And this would be the anger. And this would be the rage. And this would be the arrogance that says, well, you're supposed to always take care of me that way. No, I'm not. I'm actually supposed to prepare you to be able to take care of your freaking self. You know, so use it as a metaphor, because I know that not all of you are parents, but that's kind of the energy that's shifting around you and how you're going to have to deal with that internal conflict of what do I allow and what don't I allow? You know, and how much do I take? You know, and why should I care? You know, all of these things are going to be battling it out, and time to let go tells me that, yeah, Scorpio, there is something here this week that is going to be really gnawing at your heart. And it could very well be the challenge of tough love. The challenge of, I'm scared for you, but just because I'm scared for you, do I save you? You know, when a parent is teaching a child to ride a bike, sometimes these knees got to get scratched. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta fall, they gotta cry. And that rips your heart in two. Remember, you're not the one causing the suffering. And it's not their fault either. Like, a lot of times, low vibrational bitches, they gotta play the blame game. You know what I'm saying? They've gotta play oh, it's your fault, it's your fault. No, dude, it's not. A lot of this is karmic, which means it's life lessons. It's maturation. It's what makes us grow. And so a big challenge for you this week will also be, don't play the blame game. Sometimes it's not about blame. Sometimes it's just about being where you are and accepting what's in front of you. And a big challenge for you, not that this whole week will be just challenges, but it will be a challenging week. It's a growth experience for you. Because you're starting to shift and see value, your values are starting to shift, and you're starting to realize and recognize, especially mistakes that you've made. In terms of, you can love somebody to the point of smothering them, right? You can love somebody to the point of trying to protect them from everything. And so you do, and then what the fuck happens? They don't know how to protect themselves from anything. See, consequences, right? No good deed goes unpunished. And that's kind of what it is, because I would argue it's no nice deed goes unpunished, because nice is different than good. Good is balanced. And sometimes a good thing is to let them fall and scrape their knee. Right? That's good. Because it's a consequence of their own actions, and when they see that it ends up painful, they don't make the same mistake, and they learn how to ride the bike faster. So this is a period of rapid growth for you. As you start to get these little scratches and bumps and bruises and what the fuck, but you're realize, oh, okay, don't do this. Okay, definitely do this. Okay, give a little bit more here. Oh, we give nothing over here. Like, this is the week where it will feel like boom, 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 scratch, 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 because you are rapidly growing. And there is no doubt in my mind that by the end of the week, there will be a bike that is ridden. You will definitely be on track, because you faced what is scaring you. You face these things inside of your heart that are challenging you, and you've stopped thinking of them as curses. And that's a pitfall that a lot of low vibrational people do. I'm so cursed, I'm so unlucky, I'm so cursed, I'm so unlucky. You're not. This is life. And life is predominantly not in your control at all. But it is definitely in your control. How do you make your choices? So let's go into take a leap of faith. I mean, we're going to get into the details. You want the hairy details, we're going to get into them. Don't you worry. There's always an extended reading, by the way. I don't think I talked about that. But please do, you are invited. Please do. I hope you join me. The link is down below in the description box. I'll pin it to the top of the video, so you can just boop on it and go right to it. I'll also pin it to the top of the comment section. But take a leap of faith. Now, faith requires a lot of strength and courage. This is also good luck. This is also saying leap. That all these bumps and bruises and letting go and finally being able to close out these lessons or these karmic cycles, you're taking a big leap this week. And that even though it's going to hurt, it's going to feel real good when you get there. There's some stuff that came up in the past. Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours and reclaim your power. Oh yeah, there was a power shift. Maybe at the beginning of this year, not too recently, but there's a sense of making the tough choices in order to be able to get back on your feet or feel strong again or get to a place where you feel better about yourself again. There's also a sense of you had to make some tough choices in order to heal. And now, what are those tough choices? Well, you let me know in the comments below, because it all depends on where all of this is playing out, what house all of this is playing out. Check Capricorn. This is very important for you guys. Check Capricorn and see what house on your wheel Capricorn rules, because if it rules any, may not. There might not be any cusp of any house that actually starts in Capricorn, but if it does, that's the house where all of these changes are really going to play out on. I don't provide that information because I don't think it's pertinent. You know, I mean, they always say sun sign astrology, which I think is very inaccurate, says that Scorpio is your first house. So Sagittarius would be your second house, and Capricorn would be your third house. So I could tell you that all this is playing out in business and in your career. But that's bullshit, because I'm talking to 10,000 people and I doubt that you all have your third house in Capricorn, right? I mean, like, you should go to your natal chart and explore if Capricorn is the ruler of any of your charts, any of your houses. And by ruler is the cusp of that house, the beginning of that house starts in Capricorn. Whatever one, that's where it's playing out for you. I'm just going to describe the energies for you. And that's why I say, listen, wherever it resonates in your life, because I don't know your natal chart or where it's playing out for you. But these are the energies. This is the rapid maturation. It's almost like having to grow up fast. Having to grow up fast. And ultimately, trust in divine detours and reclaim your power is coming up in the past, which is telling me that there was some wily shit, some tricky shit that you had to navigate inside yourself, which means finding aspects of yourself that were actually causing the problems. And that's hard. And that's probably the dark night of the soul, shadow work, the bravest thing that you can do. Because like I said so often, and think of those, like immediately we want to judge people. And I say, well, you should know you're making mistakes. Really? Do you know you're making a mistake when you're just trying to protect your child? When you think that that's what you're trying to do? You know, how do you know you're helicopter parenting them? Do you think helicopter parents know that they're helicopter parents? No. Not until, bam, something like this week happens where you're like, but I need you to know all those lessons. Oh, but I never taught them to you, or I never gave you room to learn them yourself. And shit, have I been doing this? Yes, I have. Crap. But honestly, it's like once you realize it, you'll be able to rapidly fix it. But it's got to do with you stepping back and allowing others to grow the fuck up around you. And the biggest conflict is really going to be now that you're not protecting them, now that you're not overcompensating for them, they're going to be questioning everything about you. Part and parcel, right? To life, but believe me, this is the right thing. This is the best thing that you could do. This tough love is the best thing that you can do. The best thing that you can do is a little tough love. For real. Now, we do have the full moon is happening. No, the new moon is happening next week. So this is sort of the lead up to that new moon in Capricorn. Let's see what these cards want to tell us. Don't let your past hold you back. In other words, you are not obligated, Scorpio. You are not obligated to live as you have in the past. Right? I always say this to people who are suffering domestic abuse or violence or something like that. You can get beaten for 15 years straight. Every fucking day. You can have tolerated it for 15 years. Those 15 years are in the past. They don't matter. They don't exist. You do not have to tolerate them for 15 years plus a day. You always have a right to change your life when you wake up and realize a change is necessary. And this is when you wake up and realize a change is necessary. So don't let your guilt, shame, or other crap that people are going to throw at you to make you feel guilty and make you feel ashamed try to convince you that you have to, you're obligated to continue on that old track. You are not obligated. You were in there because you didn't see. Now that you've awakened and now that you see, you have an obligation to do one thing. Get the fuck out of there. That's it. That's your only obligation. It's time to release negativity. This is all about you. It's time to realize that I don't have to continue to sit in the stank that I was born into, that I was raised with, or maybe that I created. I may not have showered for 15 years straight, but I damn well, once I catch that first whiff, I have every obligation to get my ass into the shower and clean up. And that's what it's saying, is like, you will definitely face the biggest fear of, oh shit, how have I contributed to this? Or, oh crap, this really is not working for me. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with the challenges ahead. What I'm not okay with is staying where I was. Now that is the itsy bitsy energy that you're dealing with this week. And I know you can handle it because you are who you are. We have 3 of Pentacles. Let's get some details, okay? Really starting to see, this is work. This has got to do with work. People really starting to respect you and listen to what you say. Knight of Wands and Knight of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles. So this has to do with, especially if you're at a job or at something that you have been working at for many years, right? And that could include parenting. It doesn't have to be your career. It could include a relationship, but this is something where now your value is starting to be seen. And by the Knight of Pentacles, it seems like you were undervalued for a really long time. You almost became invisible in a way. But now you're starting to be recognized, and guess what the fuck is going to happen? 8 of Swords. I gotta leave this bitch. I gotta leave this bitch because my future is in the future. It is not. It is not. Now, however, 3 of Wands does suggest that something that you have invested in is finally coming back around, which could mean that you now have the freedom to leave. You now have the resources to leave, right? Or somebody, it's almost like the challenge of accepting you may be alone, or you may have to leave somebody alone because they're ready now. They're ready. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. I remember how I felt when my son went off to college. I was devastated. But that's the best thing ever. You know, he's accomplishing something. He knows what his dreams are. He's healthy. You know, and I'm sitting here feeling devastated for the best reasons. That life is moving on, and these opportunities are coming in. And as you say goodbye to the old, you are really welcoming a whole new adventure. Let's get deep into how this is going to play out in the different aspects of your life. I will see you in the extended. The link is below.